So you're going to do the introduction, or am I? Don't focus on the crack. That's becoming a theme in the podcasts, PipsCast, isn't it? Which PipsCast is this anyway?
Number 4.
So, we'll start off with that then. Shall I do that bit? I'll do that, I'll go. So hi everyone, and welcome again to another PipsCast. This is PipsCast number 4, and
It's just crazy how quickly this comes round.
yeah.
We've realised as we were coming back from shopping that it's Thursday again and the days are just whipping by. I think you thought it was Tuesday.
Yeah, I didn't realise, yeah, absolutely. I thought it was Wednesday yesterday, I think.
It was Wednesday yesterday. Yesterday you thought it was Tuesday. Never mind. Anyway, hello and welcome. I hope everyone is all right. And you know what day of the week it is, because we clearly don't.
No.
Yes. So they are all merging.
Yeah, definitely merging into one, aren't they? I think because we just get up and get things started, don't we? Like Monday we got up and we just did the guttering system on the house, and then on the Tuesday we didn't even realise, but we had to continue to do that. Yeah. Because we thought it would only take 5 minutes, but it took 2 days. And then Wednesday we were down the land and we were doing work on the land again, and it just seems we just seem quite busy, and I think I don't even realise what day of the week it is. Elaine was saying, we've got to do a PipsCast. And I was saying, no, we haven't. We've got plenty of time. We've got days. And people said, no, we haven't got days at all. Nope. So here we are. Thank you for coming back again to another PipsCast.
Yep.
And today we're going to be talking about...
stuff.
Yeah.
Just basically, it dawned on me during I think it was when we were working on the land and you're just doing something manual and your mind sort of empties and you start to think about other things.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, our plan when we were coming over in the big bus was to have all this stuff with us. And we'd watched lots of YouTube videos about other people who'd emigrated or moved, not just to Portugal, to other countries, and about how much stuff they took with them. Then obviously our plans changed and we sort of had to condense everything down into perhaps a third of the size.
Well, even because we had the big van, the big white bus.
Yeah.
We could have filled that.
Yeah, we could have put all kinds in.
Well, we could have done.
Yeah.
We weren't going to, but we could have done. Yeah.
And
but
then
that disappeared.
Yeah. And then but the thing that struck me was the stuff you just don't need. So we worried about what to bring. Yeah. So we made sure we made space for like a big strimmer, thinking that was going to be a real important thing because we wanted to get the land cleared and keep it clear. And we haven't used it yet.
No, haven't even looked at it.
And then...
That was important. That was huge.
It was hugely important to us at the time. Yeah,
the amount of time it took us to get that in the van.
Yeah, undoing bed legs and all kinds of things to shoehorn it in.
And we eventually got it in, and we've been here, I don't know, 6 weeks, 7 weeks now.
7 weeks.
And we haven't even looked at the strimmer. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the things that we've had to buy have been very minimal, really.
Yeah.
I suppose when you think about the life that we came from and then the life that we live now, we've got hardly any stuff. So we've got bedding, but we haven't got a bed. We've got clothes, but we haven't got a wardrobe.
Yeah.
we are using the camping plates that we had in the bus. So like melamine, plastic, bamboo, whatever. We've got a little selection of, but not like a porcelain.
Not crockery.
Got porcelain cups.
Yeah.
We have 2 left. Darren did manage to break one.
We only got 2 left.
I think we have 2 or 3 left.
Yeah.
But luckily our friends, because we were saying, we can't even offer you a coffee. Well, we can't offer them a coffee because we haven't got anywhere for them to sit, because we have 2 comfy chairs that we've bought since we got here. We had our 2 mugs, and so we came home one day and there was a carrier bag hanging on the gate, and inside it were 2 mugs.
Yeah.
So we now have 4 mugs.
Yeah,
so thanks, friends. That's we will soon, I suppose, have space once we've started the building renovations to put 4 chairs into one room, because we do have 2 comfy chairs, and then we have our 2 camping chairs that we brought with us.
Yeah.
So at one point soon, soon being a very flexible word.
Well, considering how quickly the weeks are flying by.
Yeah, it might be 2023. We'll have them up for a coffee, and they'll be able to use the mugs that they gave us. And so just the, as I was saying, we watched some videos, and people were paying thousands of pounds to get their stuff shipped over, whether it be sort of in a container or just a van load of stuff.
Yeah, quite expensive. And take quite a while.
Yeah, I think the amount of money that they spent on getting their stuff shipped over is probably more than our total budget that we have for the renovations on the land and the house. So it
wasn't an option to us to ship, really. We, as we said earlier, we wanted to just kind of live in the big van, and that would be our comfort. But then plans changed, and we couldn't live in the big van. So we had to then kind of think, okay, now we've only got a tiny van. How are we going to make ourselves comfortable when we get to Portugal? And do you know, it wasn't uncomfortable. We weren't uncomfortable at all.
We're not, no.
No. But it was just, we had to really sort of like make sure that we had the essentials, I suppose, didn't we?
I've always wanted to be a minimalist, and I think I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, isn't it, though, that minimalism thing? It's kind of hard. Because
to make it work, yes.
To make it work in a modern age.
Yes, that's very good, yes. In a modern age, it is very difficult. Because, however long we've been here, 6-8 weeks, we talked before about getting to learn how to shop again. For what shops sell what things. And sort of from a food perspective, there's Lidl still here, and we regularly do our food shopping in Lidl. Literally, because we eat loads of fruit and veg,
and
some
it looks
bread.
exactly the same as the UK Lidl.
And it's almost set out exactly the same.
But we can get everything that we need.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much there.
Yeah, but just odd different things. Like, so when we came in the little van, I had herbs and spices, just the little jars that you put on your spice rack, a salt grinder and a pepper grinder, but not the nice ones that you can then refill, just the ones that you get out of Aldi and Lidl. So the pepper one,
ones.
Oh, they're good. They really do.
Them.
You can't refill them, and I've tried many times. And the salt here is wonderful. You get really good quality sea salt, like the nice grainy stuff. But I couldn't get a grinder, and I hate shopping. I probably could have got it in the China shops, but I couldn't find a grinder. So what we've had to buy today is a pestle and mortar.
Yeah.
So
They didn't have a grinder. I was looking.
Yeah.
Because I went in with a grinder in my mind, because that's kind of a little bit easier, takes up less space, it's a little bit more minimal, I suppose, as well. So I went in with a grinder in my mind, and I got to the section where all the
kitchen paraphernalia.
kitchen paraphernalia was, but there were loads of little containers with the holes in. So
the shakers.
The shakers, loads of them, but I couldn't see a grinder. However, I mean, there probably was somewhere else in the shop, because that's the other thing we're learning about with these shops, is that just because a grinder or a shaker is in one place doesn't mean a grinder is. You know, a grinder could be elsewhere, somewhere else.
But you didn't have 40 minutes
I didn't really have a lot of time to hunt around a China shop, although, it was. I was going to say I don't enjoy it, really. It's all right. You always find something new, that's for sure. But I managed to find a pestle and mortar at least.
Yeah.
And it's quite a nice one.
It's
a posh
very
one.
posh,
It's a bit posh, yeah. Well, the choices were quite strange, because I had a plastic pestle and mortar. I wasn't sure what that was about, because I think the idea with a pestle and mortar is that you have that bit of weight in it.
Yeah, you give it a bit of welly.
Yeah, I thought you got like a little plastic thing isn't really... I mean, it probably would. In all honesty, it probably would. But anyway, so we managed to get a pestle and mortar today, so that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't expect to have to bring that over, do you? You don't think, I might need one of those.
I do remember standing in the kitchen back in the UK, though, and thinking, do I take that pestle and mortar with me or not? And I was like, don't be so ridiculous.
Yeah, don't.
That's just ridiculous. You just get a grinder and that'll be that.
Yeah. And we probably could get a grinder.
We probably could. There is a nice kitchen-y type shop near Auchan in the Forum shopping centre,
right, okay.
but that's like Aladdin's cave. So if you're anything like me, and then you go into it, and then you go, ooh.
Yeah, and you're just drawn in.
And it has all the lovely china and the things, you know.
Yeah, so you're there all day.
Yeah, but it's full of Christmas things at the moment, because we have now also realised we're in November.
Yeah.
And all the shops are full of Christmas. It's like the thing that is farthest from my mind at the moment.
Honestly, I have no idea. When I was in the China shop today looking through, they had boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff, and I thought to myself, the store's full enough. It honestly is, literally.
And now you've got seasonal.
And they've got 1,000, I don't know, maybe 100 boxes. I don't know. I didn't count them. I didn't really have time. But they had 100 cardboard boxes there that they were opening and stacking on the shelves.
Yeah.
And then I got to realise it is actually the Christmas stuff that they're bringing in now. So that was interesting. But I did manage to find everything that I needed.
Yeah.
Which was good. Yeah. I think that's the thing, because we've never owned, for example, another thing we never even thought about in the UK was, well, I don't know why we didn't think of these things, but we just didn't, because we had our focus on a strimmer. We were thinking just about that.
Yeah, get the jobs done.
Get the jobs done when we get here. But yeah, was a laundry bag.
Yeah.
Laundry bags.
Yeah, we knew we didn't have a washing machine when we came here,
So
and for the first good few weeks, I just washed things out by hand and then hung them out on the line on the land.
Yeah.
And in the sunshine with the lovely breeze, they dry within an hour or two.
A few minutes.
But we've had a good few weeks of either very heavy rain, or just wet, miserly drizzle.
Kind of the odd day, though, really, hasn't it? Been the odd 2 or 3 days,
Yeah,
and then it's been a
but
nice
you can't get things washed and dried. So we've been going to the laundrette, and then, of course, you haven't got anything to put it in.
You need all your paraphernalia just to go to the laundrette, don't you?
You do. So we now have some stuff. We have a pestle and mortar, and we have 2 bags to take our washing to the laundrette.
Wow.
So,
So we're living the life, aren't we now? But, so that's an interesting thing,
Mm-hmm.
So things you think you're going to need, probably don't.
No.
I don't know how that kind of works. But it's been an interesting day today, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because I think that's another thing, thinking about things that you do need and things that you don't. I've always had this obsession with the tolls, haven't I?
Oh, God.
I've always had this obsession with toll roads in Portugal.
Yeah.
because I've always tried to make it easy. But the more that I try to make it easy, literally going, because what happens is you go through a toll and it automatically picks up on your registration and it...
For your car. Driving on the road tolls.
Road tolls. Yeah. So if you accidentally go on one, which isn't easy to accidentally go on one, to be honest.
No.
Sorry. Yeah. But if you go on one, you're going to get charged. And I had this app, and it's a CTT app, which is our local post office. You can go on and you can look at your tolls, and you can't pay them on the app, though. You then have to go to an ATM machine. So anyway, it became quite a very, very, very long story, actually, which I'm not going to go into because we've just been through it. But
you got yourself quite stressed.
Well, a little bit stressed because it wasn't easy.
Yeah, it wasn't straightforward.
It doesn't seem to be at all straightforward. And even when I thought I tried all of these different ways to do it, to pay my toll, £1.95, €1.95, tried to pay it. And I was coming away and I was thinking, I know what we have to do. We have to pay it on the app. So I go to the ATM machine and I go, pay by the app that I've got here. Because the app was sending me to the ATM. I couldn't just pay it on the app. So I thought, right, I'll try that. So I went to the ATM, done all the typing in all my numbers, and thought I was doing everything right. And I may well have done, actually. I may well have paid the toll, but I didn't get a receipt.
And it didn't give a confirmation of anything either.
Not really. It just gave me my card back.
It just said, there's your card, off you go.
Thank you very much, there's your card. And I was away and I just was like, do I not get a receipt for this? Because I don't want somebody...
Because you get a receipt for everything here, don't you?
You get like loads of receipts for just one purchase. Yeah, it seems to be, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And I didn't get a notification or anything. So I went into the post office next to the ATM and I said, could I please pay this? So I probably paid it twice, but it's not a problem. It's really not a problem. It's more just a case of things we should have had was a bit better, but either sort out my tolls, which I tried to do as well in the UK, that wasn't happening. Anyway, I'm getting lost in tolls again, aren't I? Because I'm so obsessed with them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I suppose the point is maybe a better grasp of the language was what I was thinking. Do you know, when I went into the post office, the lady was lovely and it was straightforward, and she just said £1.95, €1.95. But I'm very sorry, I'm going to have to charge you an extra 35 cents as well because that's the way it works.
That's the way it works. It's probably like their handling fee or something.
Yeah, she was very apologetic. So at the end, my moral of that story is I'm not going to stress over trying to pay things via an ATM machine. I'm now just going to go into the local post office and do it that way.
Yeah.
If we go through a toll again.
Keep it human.
Keep it human. I think that's a really good thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it all seems to be taken away, doesn't it, at the moment? Mm-hmm. You know, all of these, I mean, even though, that's another, because I was paying, as I mentioned to you, didn't I? I was paying for the goods in the supermarket.
Yes.
On the self-checkout, non-human checkout. And it didn't work. I still had to get a human over. And that wasn't a language thing, that was just that the system didn't work. Mm-hmm. It just kept sending me around and around in circles. And the lady knew, because she came straight over and she said, not a problem, I've got it sorted. I know all about it. So it's just the systems, I think, is kind of putting difficulties in the way. And I think maybe that might be the rule. Take some of the systems away, take it back to humans, and make it a bit more, that will in itself make it a bit more simple, I think.
Yeah.
Because had I just gone to that lady in the first place, I could have paid for my goods.
Yeah.
Had I just gone straight to that lady in the post office, paid for my goods.
Yeah.
And that would have been so straightforward, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. I do think sometimes there's a few too many... They try and make it simple, but it's the same in the UK. I'm not saying Portugal is that way, because it's the same in the UK.
Absolutely.
It's the same everywhere, I imagine. They put things in place to try and make things easier, but... to
try and make things cheaper and more cost effective for big business, not for the everyday person on the street.
But it was a pleasure though to actually pay for it. It was a pleasure in the end to pay my £1.95 for my toll.
Plus it's 30. So a toll is a tax for using the we'll call them posh roads for the sake, because the other roads are absolutely fabulous. Yeah. And you often see the toll road, and then there's a normal national road running just alongside it.
Yeah, it runs parallel,
Yeah, and that's when we went out that day, that caused the kerfuffle with the tolls. We actually came back on the non-toll road because we then realised the route, didn't we?
Yeah.
We'd gone out for the day.
Yeah.
And we'd gone to like a little market in Alpedrina, which is about 40 minutes away. And we thought, we'll just follow the route on Google, on the phone, which always takes you the fastest and the, you know.
I mean, you can put in don't use the tolls.
You can indeed, yes. But we were just wondering.
I wanted to test it as well. I wanted to test the toll system. As I said, I'm obsessed with it. So I wanted to kind of say, right, if I went through the toll, what do I have to do?
So he caused his own problem, really.
So I had caused my own problem, actually.
Yeah.
But now I know that I'm just going to go straight to the post office.
See the lovely lady in our local post office. And,
who smiled at me and laughed at me because I couldn't do the ATM. And it was absolutely fine. And it was just nice to see a smiley face rather than an ATM, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good in the end, I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose the moral of that story is just that, isn't it?
It is, yes. Have less stuff and more people.
Yeah, definitely. Less stuff,
and
more
value
people.
the people.
Yeah, definitely. I think
for the job they do.
Yeah, it was just nice to see that. And I think I had got a little bit stressed about it, so it was really nice to
I think you were a little bit hangry as well because it was cracking on for 2:00 and we hadn't had any lunch.
Yeah.
So
how did that happen? That's a time
because
thing
there's a time thing as well. Everything takes twice the amount of time that you think it will.
Yeah, because it's a time thing. It was, oh goodness me.
Yeah.
But
that's another story.
Is that another story? I just kind of think.
I think we've done that story last.
Yeah, about the time.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about that, haven't we? But it's really interesting how it all kind of like, I don't know, I suppose now we're taking more time to notice.
Yeah.
As well, aren't we? I think that might be part of the time.
Yes.
The timeline that we're living, I suppose it's getting a bit deep, isn't it? The timeline that we're living, we're taking more notice of.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But I'm going to stop Darren there.
Okay, because it's getting a bit too...
Because we need to get this one out to you.
Yeah.
And you don't want to listen to us waffling on any longer. And I've run out of coffee.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching and for listening. And hi to the lovely people who messaged to say that they like this PipsCast format because they can just have it on like a podcast in the background and listen to us waffling on and having a laugh while they're making the tea or doing the ironing or just getting on with life, which is much more important.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for coming along this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments what you think about what we're waffling on about, and tell Darren to not stress so much about his tolls. He does,
I've been thinking about tolls for years.
Okay, say bye to the lovely people.
Bye.
Bye then, lovely people.
Yeah,
and we'll
very
see you
much.
next time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye then. Bye-bye.